On January 25th, President Trump signed an executive order changing something called expedited removal. Under the Obama administration, this expedited removal focused only on immigrants found within 100 miles of the US-Mexico border, or those who were only thought to have been here for less than 2 weeks. Now, under the Trump administration, federal officials can look anywhere in the United States for illegal immigrants and deport them if they've been here less than 2 years without a judge. There are 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. 7 million of them, or 72%, are workers. They're employed. So from an economic standpoint, would deporting 7 million workers really be a good idea? First off, what do illegal immigrants do for the U.S. economy? They account for $500 billion a year in GDP, gross domestic product, which is basically our way of measuring the nation's revenue from year to year. Last year, illegal immigrants paid $13 billion into Social Security, despite only receiving $1 billion in benefits back. They make up 5% of our workforce and do those jobs that most Americans wouldn't want to do, such as cleaning hotel rooms, picking crops, working construction, working at meat packing plants. They fill those low-paying and physically demanding jobs that are undesirable in our society. In fact, 26% of workers in our agricultural industry are illegal immigrants. 14% of all construction workers are illegal immigrants. And a quarter of all groundskeepers in the United States are illegal immigrants. Without them, it's harder for employers to fill those entry-level jobs. So what happens if they're deported? If 7 million undocumented immigrant workers are deported, our GDP reduces by 2.6%, or $434 billion annually. That's almost $5 trillion in a decade, and 4 million jobs would become vacant. Obviously, states closer to the border are going to be affected by this lack of illegal immigration compared to states like us in South Dakota. So, for example, if all illegal immigrants were booted from California, their agricultural industry's GDP would decrease by 21% and 5% in all other industries. As for South Dakota, our chunk just wouldn't be as big. We would lose $167 million, but $68 million of that would come out of our ag industry. So we're both taking blows. The southern states, such as California and Texas and Arizona and New Mexico, are taking bigger blows than we are. Deportation is also not cheap. Deporting 7 million to 11 million undocumented immigrants would cost a pretty penny to us. According to the American Action Forum, apprehension, detention, and deportation would cost close to $400 to $600 billion. And combine that with the GDP lost over a year, that's close to $1 trillion. Our national debt is $19 trillion, to put that into perspective. So what should we do? Instead of deportation, I believe we should let employed illegal immigrants apply for immigrant visas, which is the first step in citizenship. Employers can also sponsor workers for visas, making this process much easier. It would be mutually beneficial. For citizens and country, it would keep our GDP high and strengthen our economy. For employers, it means lower wages for more jobs, which means bigger business, and that's great for all of us. For illegal immigrants looking to call America home, it would provide home in America for them and a job to support that dream. You know, not all immigrants crossing the border are bad hombres, unquote. They're looking to a better life for their families, for themselves, better jobs, a safer community, and I think we should make that possible.